Cindy, if there's one thing you want to say to Craig if he's watching this video, what
Uh,
would you say?
I would say, Craig, I wake up every morning in anxiety and live with anxiety all the time. Hope I don't cry and sob in the morning. This is just a nightmare. And I pray for him every day just to make this right. That's what I would say.
We have so many patient people waiting to tell their stories. There's one more after this one, Cindy TK.
Okay.
It's I hope we can actually get this thing out to more people than
Yeah, guys.
usual.
I know that you don't like us very much, but share it with your friends on Facebook, on Instagram, email list at work, whatever it is. Tell people about it so that we can try to help these folks.
That's right. Cindy, can you hear us? Can you see us? Oh,
I
there you are.
hear
Hi.
me.
Sorry to keep you waiting for so long. Thanks for being so patient. Your fellow victim members are have some compelling stories, and it's hard to keep everybody in a short time span here. I
Yeah,
almost
but
cried from one person.
thanks for
I've so many devastating stories, even people that I know personally.
yeah.
I had found out that they had too invested in RSPs and savings, all their savings, and people that are like close to retirement or in retirement, same as
Yeah.
myself. But did you want me to share just kind of like
Yeah, so where are you calling from right now? Where do you live?
I'm up in Springwater. My
Okay.
husband used to live in Brampton,
Okay.
and then we downsized our house. He was retiring, and we moved up to Springwater, which is just outside of Barrie.
Beautiful. Yeah, I'm familiar. We're in Toronto. What like how did you first get introduced to Craig and BG Wealth?
Well, I have my own little side gig, a network marketing company, but so I was at a networking group, and that's where Craig was, and that's where I met him. And he was promoting his tax company, accounting, and called Blackthorn Group at that time. So yeah, I just switched my accounting to him, my taxes, and so that's how we met. And then
Was
gradually, we were introduced to the investment side. And
was Hashim the accountant at Blackthorn?
Hashim was not the main, like he was working for Craig at that time.
Okay.
Hashim now, of course, is has the own. He's
In the
like
same
has his own
position as
accounting, right? Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah,
And so
and
when was this? This was many years ago.
um, oh yeah, it was. I was trying to think if it was about 2014 that first met Craig, but we didn't start to invest until 2017.
Wow,
2017.
this
And so
guy's persistent, eh?
well, from the beginning, meeting him, right? I mean, it sounds like you got somebody who's good at talking and charming and to tell you all these great things. So, I mean, 3 years later, you decided to invest. Do you feel like in 2017, what he was doing was working? Like, do you feel like his investments were good investments? He was making money, and this was maybe in the beginning a little bit legitimate, but it just he lost control of it over the years. Like, how do you think this?
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that because I like to, I just want to say my husband passed in 2022 in January, just actually 3 days ago, I guess, or 4 days ago was his 3 years anniversary. And yeah, so we did start very small investing back in 2017. And then he totally gained our trust. We were actually many times we'd like developed a friendship. We thought we had developed a friendship with him and his wife and his first wife. They've been to our home. We've been to their home a number of times. So we gradually, as I said, start to invest, and then yeah, we a total of in the end of 700 and a little over $770,000.
For
Um,
multiple investment periods. Just as time went on, you access more
yeah.
money. Would he try to convince you to take money out of other places, borrow or RSPs or anything like that in order to move the money into what he was doing?
It told us of a great great way to, I mean, it's always, of course, always our decision, right? He didn't, yeah, but he did share about RSPs, about how to have that tax savings as well. And just, yeah, again, we just trusted, like I was saving for a trip for Disney World for my family, just something that I always wanted to do. So we said, oh, this is a great, I could put some money in and save and for that. And then like the big thing was once we downsized, we actually gave him all the profit from the two, from the house sale. But we also, this is a big kicker, and this is what's really devastating me is that we took out a $300,000 loan, line of credit against our house.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a zero risk tolerance. I was never comfortable with that, really. But then when my husband passed, and then at the end of 2022, during that Christmas week, I talked to Craig and I said, I got to get this line of credit paid off. I'm not comfortable with it. And he said, fine, at the end of 23, I'm going to be selling properties and I will give you the money then. And of course, that never happened.
So
And
2017, things are going well right off the bat.
yeah,
He's making the payments. You're saying, "Wow, this is working." The rates, the story all checks out. When was the first time, now that you look back, where you were like, something doesn't seem right?
I wanted to believe in trust totally, like even in 23. I guess it was once um, some of the monthly like dividends or whatever were like a little late getting to us, but they did get to us. And but then yeah, in October 2023, basically they stopped. I did talk to Craig. I pleaded my my case. He gave me another little 2,000, but like I'm responsible to pay $2,000 a month interest on this line of credit, and he was paying for it up till then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that was kind of the understanding is that we would borrow money to make money,
Mm-hmm.
and then the interest would be covered. But so then I was just left with that. I even tried um, he actually was on a Zoom with myself and my bank manager, who they called in the loan because I don't qualify for that larger loan.
Mm-hmm.
And we were really hoping to try to get Craig to, um, see how desperate this was, that I had to get this paid off. And he was just kind of thought it was just terrible that a bank would call in a loan on a poor widow. So, but like, how was I going to pay the $2,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've actually had to increase to pay the loan with the loan. And then, I'm about to sell my house, and I'm just so thankful that I'm thankful for my family, but thankful to my son and my daughter-in-law that they're gonna allow me to live in their basement because I cannot even afford to rent an apartment now with the just pensions that I have, small pensions, and that basement has to be finished. So that's going to come. I don't know how much, what little bit I'll have left from the house even. But my last statement, I'm not getting statements anymore. The last one was, even though they've said that's coming, and was the first quarter of 2024. And according to that statement, I had 1.6, I'm sorry, around $1.4 million.
What?
Uh, yeah.
So the money grew. You were getting interest, but you weren't getting. I mean, the amount of money had invested, you would have been getting
No, I
pretty
didn't, I wasn't.
substantial. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we weren't pulling. I was,
yeah.
we were, my husband, we just worked so hard. My husband was such a hard worker. He really just wanted to provide a better life for me.
Mm-hmm.
And he trusted when he passed that I was going to be well taken care of financially.
Yeah.
Oh
These
man. So
investments with Craig.
let me just get one thing straight. From the beginning, when you first invested, were you getting interest payments like actual money, or was it going back into the fund, or was it like promised for a year from now?
Yeah, no, we didn't have a promissory note or anything. We had an investment in the properties first, and that had got changed eventually to a growth fund just in 2023. I had changed that. Um, Not really understanding everything, but um, we had some money in like a 16% mortgage fund, like we were getting 16%, and we had some monies in property. So we were drawing money from the 16% account, the investment account, and but we weren't drawing everything. We were rolling money back in, and
Okay.
yeah, and then we started getting, well, actually, once my husband had passed, we did start to get some dividends on the properties. Um, but then I changed everything from the 16% mortgage fund into all the properties because, of course, it was like, oh, it's a better tax break when you cash money in, with capital gains and everything. So I did that, thought it was a good idea. And
Was that Craig who called you to tell you that?
well, we met at least once a year. We met. He would
Hmm.
come to our house. He came up here one time as well in 2023, the summer of 2023.
Hmm.
And yeah, so yeah, we would have the conversson,
When was the last time you
around
talked
the
to him?
kitchen table, right? So
Yeah.
Mm.
yeah.
When was the last time you talked to him?
Well, let me see. I think the last time I talked to him was I did communicated with Saskia quite a bit with his assistant. He doesn't. Well, they're just not getting back to us now. Anyway, she'll get back and say, Craig's really busy. Yeah, we just wanted to let you know we got your. We're just being transparent. But I would say the last time that was probably actually when I had a Zoom with my bank manager and Craig. Prior to that, I had called and he had called me back and I just said, Craig, I want you to meet me at the bank with the money for that loan. And he said, well, I could, but it'll bounce. And so I think that was, yeah, probably one of the last times I actually like talked with him.
Yeah.
And I mean, he told me how much he loved me and how much he had always loved my husband. And
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, we
but
want
Praise
to try
God.
to share this story. I mean, I don't know what sort of repercussions are going to happen for him. Hopefully, whatever's supposed to come to him, comes to him because that's obviously what the right thing to do is, whether that's be on the civil side or the criminal side. But more importantly, is to stop people from falling into this trap again because we've been told that he's still actively marketing investments.
yeah, I've heard that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so in these type of situations, when you've got whatever is going on, did he live a luxury lifestyle? Did he have some sort of problem that maybe personally was driving? Is it the new wife? Like, what's this? Why did this
Hey,
whole thing
yeah,
just happen at the end like this?
as I said, I had more friendship with him and his ex-wife, right?
Yeah.
However, I have to say, Craig and Claudia, and I guess I knew Claudia. I knew she'd been at some of his investment uh, shows and stuff that where he's I guess recruiting. Um, they both came to my husband's funeral, and yeah, so yeah, I think yes, they did live a lavish lifestyle. I mean, he was doing well too. I have to say, when I know him with his first wife, they had a lovely home, and he always enjoyed cars. I know that, but yeah, as far as and traveled a lot too. They even traveled to a convention with us. It's
Hmm.
What a
but
piece of work this guy is, hey? Like
Yeah.
what a
Yeah, it sounds
con man.
it sounds like a very typical type of real estate Ponzi scheme. And whether he meant to do it from the beginning or not, it sounds like once things got out of control, his only way to give people dividends was to bring in more money from other people. And that the money wasn't going into projects. Some of it was, but most of it was going into his lifestyle. And that unfortunately he lost control eventually and wasn't able to make payments and keep up the facade and all
Yeah, the
that kind of stuff.
tops turned off.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
that
when the
is,
market changed in 22. Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
And that is one thing, when, when the monies weren't available for me to pay my loan off. He had said he was getting more, I guess, people to buy my, I guess it's stocks, my
Mm.
shares rather. And,
Shares, yeah.
um, now I know someone who did give give him, like, did buy into that, right? So I did question him, like, why am I, like, why are you not giving me back my money? I know you did get some new people, in which I did not want to give him any names of the people I know, but I knew them. Um, and he just said, well, I have to keep the lights on.
Keep
And
the lights on.
I remember that conversation. That was still the same conversation where he told me how much he loved me and loved Mike, my
Yeah.
husband.
But he has
Yeah.
to keep the lights on
Yeah.
all over the
Uh,
world.
yeah.
Unbelievable. Well, you seem like a very lovely person, and under the circumstances, you seem to be in good spirits. Thank God for your kids, who are going to help you out.
Yeah.
But you are the probably like exact target that a guy like him would be looking for. A nice, caring, faithful person is, you know, a perfect prey for these predators. So hopefully these stories can dissuade other people or teach people to maybe do a little bit more due diligence and research before they give their hard-earned money to people.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we can help out in some way. We wish you all the best. We have to get to our last
Okay.
guest. Thank you
Thanks,
so much.
Cindy. If there's one thing you want to say to Craig if he's watching this video, what
Uh,
would you say?
I would say, Craig, I wake up every morning in anxiety. I live with anxiety all the time. Hope I don't cry. And sob in the morning. This is just a nightmare. And I pray for him every day just to make this right. That's what I would say.
Thank you. Thank you. We hope he sees this, and we hope a lot of people see it. And we're going to ask everybody who watches this to share it and to, try to bring justice
Yeah.
and make sure that people know exactly what this company's all about, and to make sure that nobody falls into that trap again.
Well,
Thank you, Cindy.
thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank
Sorry
you.
for crying. Sorry.
No,
It's okay.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay.
Sorry. Jesus Christ, man. But like
Hmm.
the listen, if it is a premeditated thing that goes
Hmm.
on for almost a decade, like what is it, a psychopath or a sociopath? Like the guy's a
Sociopath, yeah.
fucking nut,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like,
To
how do you
continue, I
do
love
this?
you, and to go to the
A
funeral, like it's
funeral, you son
very
of a
like
bitch.
when it's happening to you though, you're just like, okay, you want to give people the benefit of the doubt, and okay, he really cares, and oh, he made a few mistakes, and oh, like you make excuses
He's
for
gonna
them.
figure it out.
He's
Yeah.
gonna figure it out. I believe in him, and so like I get it. Like I get why. Like this is not like, oh my gosh, this person is like, I can't believe they fall for this. We got like lists of people here. Like I wonder what's the total number. It sounds like hundreds of people who
Oh
have,
yeah.
fall into his scams. And it's
So
like
much money.
each
Did you
person,
hear
it's
that?
I know, over 700,000. Each person's got the same sort of story. They gained his trust, whether through an accountant or a trusted friend, or
Right? Oh,
and the 87-year-old lady, $200,000, because the first lady had referred her. So all these type of things, like it could have happened to anybody.
Are you looking for the best merch store on the planet? Well, we got the shit for you. Coming in at low prices where we barely make any money off of whatsoever, you can get the greatest real estate merchandise on this platform. Just look at this very flamboyant man putting on this great stuff. He looks great, he's dancing great, and boy does he look sexy in that merchandise. I tell you, buy this for anybody, you buy this for yourself. You will be not only repping the greatest Canadian real estate podcast in this world, but you will also be looking hella good doing it.